today we wanted to talk about my adventures.
Yeah, I'd like to have you explain your recent transformation in the world of social media, the amazing work that you've done over the last, just a couple of months?
Yep.
I think it's an amazing transformation. And I also believe that it is a really good example of the work that we do, how you use that work for yourself in order to be able to make this major shift. So I think, why don't we just kind of launch into that?
Absolutely. So up until about just under 3 months ago, I absolutely avoided LinkedIn at all costs. So I was on LinkedIn, I had a profile, and our wonderful social media manager, Camilla, was scheduling posts for me. But every time I thought about LinkedIn, I felt overwhelmed. And people were saying, you need to get onto LinkedIn, it's very important. And I was like, yeah, I don't even want to look at it. Never mind, I don't even want to think about it. So as we kind of, as I was doing other stuff and I kept hearing about I should do LinkedIn. And then I thought, hold on a minute, I'm so passionate about us using our own stuff. So a big thing that I always feel with coaches and practitioners in that is we very often forget to use our own things that we help other people with, right? So I thought, okay, so let me address this issue. So there are two pieces that I wanted to share today that made all the difference. And just so you know where we're going with this is today I have over 4,500 followers on LinkedIn, which is not as huge as many people, but just under 3 months that I got 1,500 of those. That's a really fast growth in just under 3 months. And there are two pieces. Number one, I used what we teach to clear the blocks, and I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on that in a minute. And secondly, I got the right advice. And so what we do with changing the brain's GPS, in addition to making you feel better and changing how you look at things and the actions you take and all of that, it also makes different things seem like a good idea.
Yeah, I was just gonna, can we break that down just a little bit so that we kind of walk through step by step?
Yes.
While we're going to be talking specifically about LinkedIn, this process can be applied to absolutely anything.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. So whether it's, you need to make calls or you need to build a shed or clean out your garage, whatever you want to do that you're not doing or that you have resistance to or that you have fear about or you're overwhelmed by, this process works the same for all of it. So in my case, I found some childhood memories that I hadn't changed in the past. I thought I'd changed everything, but there was some childhood memories to do with homework in school. And so as I was thinking of LinkedIn, the unconscious part of my brain was referring not to LinkedIn. It was referring to those childhood memories about being overwhelmed by homework, not knowing what to do, being scared to ask, feeling I couldn't ask for help, and having too much to do because I worked as a child as well after school. So as my brain was referring to those references, it was pumping stress chemicals into my system that made me feel stressed, overwhelmed, and I don't want to look. Now, when I changed those memories to the opposite, positive and empowering, which is what we do here at the Remmert method, I changed those memories and then I suddenly was willing to learn. So what happened was I thought, yeah, you know what, I'd like to do it. And how do I find out how to use it effectively? So the first piece was the change in how I felt about it. So I was no longer overwhelmed and I was actually excited about it. Then the second piece that was the result of changing those childhood memories was that I was drawn to the right people to learn from. I searched YouTube, as one does, and found a lady called Sam Rathling. And she had videos that explained how to use LinkedIn effectively. Some things she was saying were not what other people were saying. And so my brain was now keeping me in alignment with success instead of overwhelm, which meant that out of all the videos that I could have watched, hers were the ones that my brain was drawn to. I watched videos, I followed the little tips she was giving in them. I started to see a difference. And then we ended up working with them, with her company, which is Pipeline 44. I'll put links in the description of this video to the Pipeline 44 team. The bit that I want to get to here is, number one, I was then excited. Number two, I was drawn to the right people with the right expertise that worked for us effectively. And then on top of that, I was excited to do what they shared, to do what they taught. So instead of feeling, oh, they say I must, connect with people or send a message or post this and what will people think and all of that, I was like, oh yes, let me do that. I was waking up in the mornings looking forward to it. So where I'm going to get to with our advice for everybody out there, whether it's LinkedIn or anything else, social media or
doing YouTube videos,
building a shed, anything.
Do we need a shed?
Cleaning your house. Whatever it is that you need to do and that you feel overwhelmed, you feel you can't do it. Because remember that whatever you need to do, there are people out there who do know how to do it and you can learn from. The challenge is it can sometimes be overwhelming because there's so many of them, but if you've changed your brain's GPS first, then you'll know who to follow, you'll know who to listen to, and you'll be excited to take the action.
Yeah, and I think that the important bit here is understanding you're really changing a neurochemical feeling that's going on. Yeah. Because, kind of going back to that starting point for you, yes. The word LinkedIn was linked to a feeling that was really coming from these subconscious references about that your brain had made some kind of a link that when you thought about LinkedIn, it automatically brought up the feelings that were there regarding feeling overwhelmed as a child at school. So, that's that key starting point is understanding, okay, these feelings that are arising as I'm thinking about that, that's what needs to change. Yes. Because that's what's driving everything. If you're in a stress state, you can't think clearly. Yes. You can't look, you can't begin to discern from all the things that are out there, which direction should I go? Yeah. And by changing what you are subconsciously, unconsciously referring to in the moment, and you're able to keep yourself in that calm, strategic state, then you're making choices and decisions that are now moving you in a different direction.
Absolutely. And a piece I wanted to just add to this is that we are consciously unaware that that's what's happening. And that's what makes it so tricky. So I was thinking of LinkedIn, and then I would feel that overwhelmed, feel like, I don't want to know. I don't want to even think about it. Yeah. And I thought it was about LinkedIn. So I didn't know until I used our techniques to discover the unconscious references. I didn't realize that my brain was referring to those childhood memories and then pumping stress chemicals into my system, which created the feelings that you're talking about. The fact that it's unconscious is what makes it so challenging.
Yeah, and I think that the work that we're doing, what we have spent a lot of time dissecting, is how this unconscious machinery is operating in the background. And the fact that we can take control of that machinery, then start to change your neurochemical state, to change the way you're thinking, to change the choices, actions, decisions that you're taking, and thus changing your life in general.
The results, yeah. Absolutely. So we have two ways that you can find out more about this. We have a free masterclass, and the link for that is in the description of this video, so you can register for that. But we're also doing a live webinar, which is on July 9th. I'll put the link to that in the description of this video as well, so you can be there live and ask questions and that kind of thing.
Absolutely. I just wanted to add that, being a witness to this process or helping you with this process, the transformation, it was one of those kind of almost overnight experiences where we did a little bit of work together around this, kind of discovering those childhood links. Yeah. And then it was kind of like, who are you? It's like, yeah. You're wanting to get... You're excited about jumping into this LinkedIn thing. So it was just, I guess I just wanted to hold that out there, that it doesn't need to take a long time. Absolutely. And it's not a grueling process in order to be able to make a shift or make a change.
You can do it in minutes, literally minutes. Yes, because I know you kept saying to me, are you sure you want to do this? So, and it's my favorite part of my day now. My favorite part of my work day. Yeah.
We're looking forward to, seeing folks live on July 9th. So please check out those links, and we'll be talking to you again soon.
All right. Lots of love to all of you. Bye-bye now.
Bye for now.